of checking in and sharing personal stuff and playing games, or just I suppose things that are less procedural, more just like intimate, social, don't want to necessarily be broadcast sort of stuff, and then start recording when we get into the sort of process of the activity, I suppose, more.
Fair enough. What do we think about retitling of Purpose Plan? Business. The word business just really makes me shiver.
I like that.
Anyway, are we recording? We are.
We are, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, welcome, anyone who happens to watch this. You're welcome.
You're not welcome.
Welcome. Today we're creating our business or purpose plan, aren't we? And we're going to have a go at collaboratively doing it with, well, at some points, 5 of us, which is exciting. Here is the layout of the day that we have. I'm coming from Mexico, so these times slightly different to this side of the world. We've already had our intro check-in and stuff, and we're just about to dive into creating a business plan on our own, answering the questions that are down here. Let's start with these. So we have like our mission statement, values, activities as an organization, background and achievements to date, goals for the next 2 to 5 years, public benefit, who will benefit, how they will benefit, similar services available, what is the unfulfilled need, how would dignity integrate with other activities, key performance indicators. I wondered whether actually at this point it might be good to identify some of these, particularly maybe for Matt, or me as well, to be honest, about key performance indicators we've talked about before, but we've called them success metrics, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll use. Oh, where's the gold one?
I'm just measurement. So indicator is the thing that you're going to measure, and then the measurement is what's this sort of SI unit, like kilograms or meters or whatever, is it?
Yeah, that's the way I saw it. So like, well, the way that we've done success metrics is, talking about the ones that are actually measurable in terms of numeral, like the amount of people that we have signed up for Dignity Platform, for an example.
Yeah.
Reporting feels like the method in which we aim to collect that data.
Right, yeah.
And I wonder whether the key performance indicators can be a lot more general. They don't have to be numerical. Because I think most of our value propositions and success metrics are not necessarily able to be counted. So how can I write that to explain? So I write something to explain after the others, or should we just wait until they come and explain it?
Oh man, as you like, really. I think as long as I guess everyone, because questions might come up in part 1 when we dive in working solo, and I guess the important thing is that so I'll put this out there. I'm really happy for to have a couple of interruptions, to have a small handful of interruptions if people want to try to clarify something with me. If they're not sure what something means, I'll try and help if I can, for example. And then and then just, if we're not sure about something, we shouldn't be stuck on our own.
Yeah, no, I agree. It might be nice to have some check-ins during this 2.5 hour part.
But yeah, it might be nice actually I just realized when you were scrolling through all the questions, actually that's quite nice to do, and just make sure that there aren't any that instantly confuse us, or because there's one I'm already holding something. I wasn't sure if you were in the middle of a train of thought, but there's something that came into my mind just as you were scrolling through, which was, and there might be other things if we look through again, but if you scroll up again.
I just have someone I have to talk to. On a sec. Okay. Sí, sí. Oh, Yo creo la coche es no Chris.
I know.
No sé. Bueno, ok. ¿Cuál calle? Gris, sí, pero ¿qué
So
color?
sexy.
Gris, sí. Okay. Okay, there's a car alarm going off apparently. I just need to ask. Just pass this to someone else so I don't have to deal with it. Apparently one of the car alarms is going off. I think it might be one of our cars or Chris's. I don't know.
I kind of think waiting till Joe comes and then just going through for just trying to keep it really brief, but just like going as quickly through as we can the questions and just.
And then and if something instinctively we don't understand, we just
because I think there's a couple of things that could.
Yeah, sorry, carry on, Luke.
Just saying, if Joe's going to be here in like 5 minutes, then I wonder if it's worth us just together going through and just quickly seeing if anyone has any issues with the questions, like any don't make sense, or like the one I was going to talk about was what are our goals in the next year? This is possibly one of those examples of when we might want to do something a bit differently. But I know me personally, I feel like one of the things I really want to challenge with the sort of traditional business plan is that actually what makes goals interesting is when they cover all 3 levels, from the self to the tribe, the collective, and the societal system-wide goals. I think if you only have one, for me, that's really, really boring. And I just I don't want to engage with goals that are only about, for me, that's exactly the same as a school being interested in nothing but the academic results of the students. You know, I'm like, I want Dignity to have personal goals. Like, for me, I want them to be really like holding hands with each other, not like they belong in the same question, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know if that will be sort of accepted in the business plan. So
well, even if it's not, I think we can have our own version, can't we?
Yeah, for sure, of course. And so yeah, that's the thing, wasn't it? Like we were chatting about this, Pasco, that maybe we want to, even if we don't answer them right now, maybe this is a good time to just invite us all to think about questions we feel like are missing from this business plan, questions that sort of represent what's maybe where the room for improvement is in kind of the traditional mainstream ways of doing business.
So, I mean, I feel like Joe might be a better person to answer this, maybe. But like, the purpose of a business plan, right?
You're already.
Hello.
So we can ask ourselves.
There we go.
Hello.
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 How are you?
Tremendous.
Good.
You.
Oh, there's Reggie here. Hello.
Hello.
Pasco's on a cloud.
You're on a cloud.
Yeah, look at him. Just floating on a rocking chair in the clouds on the way to the gates. You've been recorded, by the way. Oh, nice. You smell nice.
Hey,
Do I?
Yeah.
Let me smell you.
Ooh.
Do I
I
smell
know that.
good?
Yeah, your hair smells perfumed.
Good.
Smell Joe's hair.
Yeah, you smell like rainforest. It's funny that.
Oh, good.
In clouds.
Oh my god, peaches.
True.
I smell like peaches.
Ooh. Microphone's on me.
So what were you saying, Pasco? Huh?
Joe's reaction to the massive microphone.
That's how close I was. I'm just going to sit back here.
The green microphone, it's blue. So confusing. You have a blue microphone? No,
So silly.
I like it's called the snowball.
Yes.
You were going to ask
How-
a question.
I was, yeah. I don't know whether Joe, do you want to check in a little bit, or you
Right.
have to just dive straight in?
Checked.
Checked.
Check your baggage.
I ain't got no baggage.
Oh. Okay. Well, then I'll just dive straight in. Fuck. What was it? What is the purpose of a business plan? Like, it is. Who is it to present to? Why do we need it? Like, why are we creating this business plan at this point? Do we need it to be a legal entity, or do we just generally need it so that anyone who's looking at the project can now then see, you know, what our success metrics are, how we plan to make revenue, blah blah blah. Like, why are we creating this right now? Can you explain that?
So it was first like highlighted to me the need for it when I went on to register as a CIO, so the Charity Incorporated Organisation, and they've got requirements of what I need to submit along with a constitution. And then they said, and what you may also need to submit is quite a few other things in a business plan. And I think it's to sort of add like value to our registration process if we submit it and show that we are like, you know, very sort of legit, and we thought about it, this is where we want to go.
Okay.
That's like that's the need that I feel for it, because I do, when I submit for a CIO, I'm going to submit the business plan. I just think it is worthwhile that they see it all, so they can get a full understanding of it. But when I was actually doing the business plan last night, I just sort of went through it for a couple of hours. I felt like it was really worthwhile for me to do that, because then I was looking at like on real time, and you've essentially done this, like you've done it all in your circles, like you've done a lot, and like you've been thinking about it. I haven't, so it's given me the chance to like really delve into those questions and come from like my area of it. So I felt a real like, oh, this feels good, like really good to come compare it and things. But yeah, certainly we need it for HMRC.
Okay, so it's about credibility, but I mean, it's like we were talking about last time about actually the value of doing it all ourselves and learning more about what dignity is when we break it down. It's essentially a form
and what we agree on
question.
Stuff, like because it is the living organization, like organism, we all have our own ideas and obviously values and things, and it's like collating that and showing that it's like thriving in that way.
Yeah, the two words that come up for me, I think, are like shared ownership and like insight, I think, because totally like so much, obviously what you said as well, I totally like resonate with. I think there's just these two additional things possibly as important for me, I think. So like shared ownership, I think like what's the alternative to us co-creating the business plan, or at least putting an invitation out, because obviously you don't want to like make Marcus be involved in it if he doesn't want to be, doesn't have capacity or whatever. But yeah, like the invitation being there just means that there's an opportunity to be part of, actually we're creating sort of a part of the skeleton of dignity with this, isn't it? So it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a real opportunity here for us to hard code our sort of insight and perspectives and worldviews and expertise like into this stage in a way that's really lasting and like isn't just going to sort of be forgotten about and dropped. It's like this is really going into the bones and the flesh of dignity. So like it feels really great that there's a bit of all of us in this. And then also, yeah, the insight thing, like you kind of touched on, I think, just if we really want to move beyond being sort of typecast into sort of specific roles, like we've talked a little bit about, I certainly feel like you kind of very much sort of just fallen into the accounting, legal sort of, just because there's such a massive vacuum there of like expertise, and just your commitment is just like unwavering, just constantly like chipping away at that. But yeah, at the same time, I don't need to be caged and boxed into that. And so I feel like one of the ways to help with that is give us this opportunity to really deep dive over a good few hours into like the big picture of how everything fits together. And I just think, God, that's so exciting that we could, if we wanted to, all after this, I suspect, not only write funding applications and that no longer be just something me and Pasco do.
Daunting, yeah.
But also we can probably way more convincingly like describe it to funders or to journalists or all of the people that I expect us to each be talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it won't have to be like me or Pasco who does that, because we've done the most sort of diving into, and you're a bit into like purpose and values and sort of targets and stuff. We've all sort of done it. Exciting, I think.
I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna give us 15 minutes extra now and take 15 minutes off lunch, so that right now we can go and add some questions and talk through the questions that we have. So there might be questions that people want to add. Oh wait, hold on, I can't, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Well, no, 30. So keep that to 15. Can't do maths at this time in the morning. There we go. So Joe, what we were thinking about doing, oh, I should probably keep the screen share, shouldn't I? Is going through what we already have from the questions that we got from the PDF that you sent through, as an example. Just make sure that they all make sense and what we're trying to answer, and any kind of questions that we have around them. Defining questions, that's what we call it, don't we? And then think about if there's any ones we want to add, but equally we can do that as we go along. So sort of defining the questions and then thinking about any extra ones that are you know, not necessarily in the traditional business plan, but that we might want to ask ourselves and explain to others.
Or maybe at least park them, like just what a beautiful opportunity just to think about what questions we're not being asked. Like, I don't know if you've ever had like a job interview and you're like, I can't believe you're not asking me this question. You know, like, I don't know, like I'm going to work with young people, like, I don't know, why do you want to work with young people? Or I don't know, it's like, why haven't you asked me this question? I've definitely had that feeling before. So even if we don't take time to answer it today, just I'd be interested to know if any of those questions just arise for anyone during this process.
Where'd you get all the stickers from, man?
Yeah, where are all these icons from?
Vasco's got his own magic pack of stickers.
You bought them or something?
Luke's got his own secret Telegram stickers as well.
No, you can add them.
No, I had to bribe Telegram to get them. I know.
Okay, this is our parking spot. It is double yellow lines, but you know, we'll allow it. Are we ready to go through the questions?
Yeah.
We have about 15 minutes, and then we'll be running on time. So got a nice little chunk. So mission and mission statement is kind of a funny one, because I guess a mission is a longer description, and then a mission statement really is looking to be probably, I would say, 3 sentences. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, something very like short.
Mission statement's got to be shorter.
Yes. Yeah, if you look at like other people's mission statements, what was it? Which one? They had a vision, which was 1 line, and their mission statement was maybe just like 3 lines or something.
Okay, let's go for 3 sentences. I know what your sentences are like.
I just conscious of when I did it last night, and it's just like this long as, oh my god, like how are we supposed to?
Can we say how long a sentence is? Because like some people write ridiculous. I can think of people.
Yes. Just put little commas instead of full stop. Okay.
So what should we say? Should we say a certain amount of words? Like
just like 3 short sentences max or something.
20 words a sentence?
92 characters.
20 words a sentence. 60 words.
I don't know. Let's just see 3 short sentences. Let's see what happens. So we're happy with those. What are our values? That's something we've explored. I think that's obvious.
Is it personal or business? Well, for me, I just took the personal approach and business. Sorry, organisation.
Okay. What you
Because
mean?
I sort of thought, well, my
Personal
value is this, so I'm going to add this. And then I just sort of looked at it as an overall as well.
I guess we've structured this so that there's an alignment check, so we can put in things we feel like are a value that we resonate with, but we think there's a chance the rest of us might agree with, and then we can sort of see from there.
Yeah.
But I mean, aren't all these questions we're asking more about dignity as an organisation rather than our personal values? No.
Yeah.
That was my impression.
Yeah, and then I thought the way that dignity is, it's all about the people. So our values should come from the people as well. Like I when I started with the values, I just started to write down my values and then just started to look at dignity and see which ones sort of fit really well with it and stuff.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. And then more sort of actual like out there values, ones that make more sense to organisations as opposed to people.
Something I found really interesting, just playing a little bit with values and stuff and mission statements, was like looking at other companies' ones, which are really easy to find if you look on Google, and looking at Coca-Cola's. Like I shared the Coca-Cola one time. I did say that was Coca-Cola, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't actually answer.
I didn't give you the answer.
You cheated, and then you made me cheat.
Did
But the first thing that came to my head was, I bet it's Coke, because I was like, that's just like they're like, oh, we're going to do that.
Coke basically sound like the most inspiring social change organisation when you read their values and mission statement.
Really?
So it makes me think, like, are there actually words that are specific enough to, so that Coke couldn't even pretend it is those things, For example, that's one question I have in my mind. Like, can we have some values that really can instill trust that we're not just doing a Coca-Cola on people, sounding good but meaning nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put genuinely before every single word.
Honestly.
Okay. So next one is, what are our activities as an organisation? I mean, I guess that's kind of events and the ins and outs of what we literally do.
Yeah, app provision.
Everyone
Voice.
happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our background and achievements today. So almost like a bit of a story, I guess.
Yeah.
Can that what's that individual's background, or just
No,
when we've been a unit?
I think you could probably give, like, it wouldn't harm to give your background in a way of just like what you are.
Yeah.
But then we can't have a list of all of us on the final version, can we?
Well, we're going to write about the trustees. Maybe it's just a name that we put for the trustees. Like, we are going to write about everybody. Yeah, maybe dignity background. Maybe just go dignity background. I've actually just put dignity background.
I feel quite tempted to write like at least half or like a really short sentence on, because I feel like my background in like doing third sector communication stuff feels really like relevant. I want to like.
I think it's important.
What part 2 is for, isn't it? So we can see like how much stuff kind of fits together. But
I think it looked quite nice in the business plan, just like where overall, just one sentence about each other and then what dignity's back.
Yeah, not like we did at the launch event, like this person did it, but like just kind of generally talking about our collective sort of experience, like our team, that has come from these areas and brings this to the table.
It adds viability as well.
Yeah.
Okay, personal bios is in parking spot, but I think that'd be really nice to do. Values, no, over there. Backgrounds, goals. So you were talking about the 3 tiers. So you were talking about personal goals, collective goals, and then
Societal.
Like
still deciding the best for that.
Us.
External.
It's kind of us, them.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Something about us and them that freaks me out, but yeah. But yeah, you get me, yeah.
Um,
So is it only goals that have an impact outside of dignity, or can it be goals within dignity as well? I guess the business people reading the business plan are going to be mostly, especially more traditional mainstream organisations like funders, are going to be. Well, I don't know, because like actually a lot of the sort of funders we might reach out to probably would be really interested in that more holistic picture of personal goals, collective goals, as well as the more obvious kind of external goals. Yeah, I think I just wanted to sort of like put the question out there rather than sort of suggest a concrete answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
let's just see what we come up with, eh?
Mm.
And then that's, same sort of question, but longer. Public benefit need.
There should be
Can I just say something just in case there's not a better time for it? I'm really excited to see what people put in here that they want to see in here. Maybe that's like really obvious, but maybe this is something more I want to say. Perhaps maybe like to Matt, just because he hasn't been with us like quite as long. I just want him to hear, at least from me. I think this could very easily feel like a kind of like, is your answer right or wrong? Like at least some of those questions. I'm really excited to see, especially in part one, what people in their wildest dreams, personally, selfishly, would love their answer to be, rather than like, what do they guess is the correct answer, Like, great, if it's completely different to like what me and you, Pasco, have done, exploring some similar questions, like that's good, especially in part one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I got something from HMRC website about public benefit. It should be. It's just a bit. I was going to say just a bit north from there. And then it just sort of.
This bit.
Yeah, and then it just sort of shows what HMRC would be looking for, and then we do satisfy all that. That's just to give you like a bit of.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to move that down next to where it is, okay?
Yes.
So, go down here. What is the public benefit? Who? And then how? So it's like what, who, how?
Yeah.
Formatting. Okay. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, similar services. I think that's obvious. Unfulfilled need. I don't know. There might be some overlap with
I love
benefit there.
questions, man. I just love them.
How do you define between the public need and benefit and the unfulfilled need?
The difference between them.
Yeah, I mean, is that talking about the gap compared to
what's missing?
There is a potential difference, I guess. A part of me thinks that they're just asking a very similar question purposefully twice because it's such an important question, and they really want to encourage a really rich answer. But there is sort of a difference between, certainly if you start looking at it from the angle of consumerism, there's some products that like solve a problem. Like there's two ways of describing a social change or community benefit organization. One is there's a problem and we're fixing a problem or helping to, like homelessness, definitely a problem, we're fixing it or helping. And then there's like, here's an opportunity and we're exploiting it. It's maybe like there's not actually a problem there, but maybe like people are walking through the park and nothing's wrong, but you put some beautiful artwork there that just makes people even more happy. You're like you're making something okay, amazing, rather than something fucked, okay.
Okay.
That's just like my initial first thought on it.
How will dignity integrate with?
My thought is that it is just like the gap. So public benefit, who can you benefit? Like who's already maybe being benefited through organisations and everything, and what's the unfulfilled need in that? Really, where could you hit hardest? Like where is there a big gap that you could fill with that?
Yeah, because I guess it's easier to say here's our benefit is going here, here, and here, but actually then if you're not really onto something, you're just good at words, then you might be like, actually, I can't articulate a need that I'm addressing. I'm just saying where there's benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like the fitting into society.
But the unfulfilled need can be a bit more specific with what you're aiming with it.
Cool. Okay. It is 8:30 here. We've got a few left, and then we wanted to have a bit of time to think about actually new questions. So how do we want to do this in terms of time?
What I was imagining with the new questions is just that that's an optional thing if we want to, working on our own. We just have, like if just something pops into our mind, like, I think if this process was more inspired, this question and this question would be asked, but we like that's not a thing we do sort of right now in the video call. And that was my thought.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll think of questions as we go along. All right, well then let's just quickly run through the last ones and then we'll get started. So where do we get to? Integrate with other activities providers. That's kind of collaborators and relationships with other
organizations. I would say that is the most Nesta question on here, by the way. Nesta possibly still being our best funding opportunity ever. They just love that.
So I thought with this one, like, it's like all the causes, it's like everybody that would be benefiting and using it and everything. Is there any more specifics? Like,
this is like like the Nesta application we're still waiting to hear back from. They're like particularly interested in that fund, like how we integrate with and complement public services. But like just generally, like, will we even do anything to try and reach out to other like-minded organisations, like Real Junk Food Project, or give a dinner party, or whatever? Like, or do we just go, we've got a competing product, we're going to operate in a silo, in a bubble? Okay. So I think one of the ways that I would say we're integrating is we're recording this video call. Like, why are we doing that? Like, partly for our own team, but also because in my mind, we're trying to like capture an emerging story that feels quite important potentially, and we don't know exactly where we're going to go or whether this could be potentially quite useful. This very unknown area of kind of the startup stage.
Cool.
All right, like that. Okay, KPIs. I wanted to call them success metrics just because that's what we've called them before. So is everyone fairly clear on the success metrics that we don't want to go over and have a look at?
Difficult, but yeah.
But you know what I mean. So these are how we essentially define that we are being successful and performing well at what we're trying to achieve. And then the measurements, I guess I see as numerical, actual figures that we can take and measure, and then how we report them. And I guess the ones that we can't measure numerically, I would just put in the key performance indicators. Does everyone kind of agree on that?
So are we saying that it's like a success metric is somebody, I don't know, help me out.
So one for me would be number of first meets that we've enabled in the local community.
Okay,
so
like
in 2018, we have got 873 people living in Brighton who didn't know each other to meet up and help each other out. Another success metric might be, of those 863, 96% of them said it was a positive, meaningful interaction.
And so the measurement would, so what's the difference between that and a measurement?
Because some of them, some of them you're going to be able to count, so like that one, but other ones are going to be like
qualitative.
So, but isn't the KPI, like what goes in that box would be number of first meets, and then the measurement would be 10 or whatever?
I would have understood it more like key performance indicators would be like get local people to meet each other, like more general, sort of more kind of like descripting, like you would say in a conversation, like how would you measure your impact? We would, or like what are the things that what are the measurable things you're trying to achieve, I guess. We want to get local people to meet each other, to tackle social isolation, just describe what the things are that you want to have impact-wise that you want to measure, I think.
Okay.
So the measurement of KPIs doesn't just literally have kilograms, meters, newtons.
And what would be like the number, and then the reporting would be numerical. Sorry, the method, the numbers are clicked. The method, the numbers are clicked. Okay, I'm just gonna actually have a look at something on Google and see what I can get from there, because I'm a bit it's something I just struggle with looking at it.
Yeah, I mean the report.
Okay, maybe Joe, if you find some stuff, you can stick it down here as well and help define it for us.
Yeah.
I
think it's because I have looked at them before, like properly, and it's now just like.
One of the things I did yesterday was if you look in time log or stream on Rike, you'll see I put a link to a business plan for my friend's CIO.
That's only a constitution?
And it doesn't have any KPIs.
It's just a constitution, which is fine, and it looks very similar to the one that I've got in draft form that just need to finish, which is great.
Okay.
But it's not actually a business plan, it's just the constitution of the CIO.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we just move on, because we're about 7 minutes over time. Okay, so we'll kind of define that, but maybe some confirming information whilst we go along.
Maybe you lift some stuff from the constitution, because I haven't done it before. I don't know how interlinked they actually are. But maybe you do lift some stuff, so it might be worth. It's definitely worth having a look at that thing. It's really helpful in ways. It more for like the governance side as well, like organisation policies and procedures, and like maybe a bit more of the risk and the trustees and stuff. It's quite helpful in that way.
Oh man, I'm excited to put this on our website. Like, are you really interested in what we're doing? Are you like MSF or whoever, a potential partner, a funder? Like, look at our whole business plan if you feel like it. It could be a really cool thing to make available to other startups too.
Okay, where will policies and services? So
key.
That's kind of public image, face, and how we connect with our community. Managing risks. I guess that's assessing what risks there will be in our activities, I would say, and how we plan to manage them.
There should be like a definition of a risk. I don't know, is everyone happy with what a risk is?
Yeah.
Like prevents you achieving what you want to achieve.
I guess I'm sure some of us will be surprised by what each other contribute in part one, but that will be part of the process of looking at all the different ways we can interpret these questions.
A risk in our context doesn't just mean it could be somebody abusing the website. It could mean we haven't approached the right people, so we're not being effective. That's a risk.
Yeah. Fundraising is like the main one. If we don't have the funds, we can't do it. Just anything that could prevent us doing what we want to do at our mission.
He's a blurry bastard, isn't it?
Are you talking, Pasco?
What? No.
Oh, that's right.
Now I am. Organisational policies procedures.
I had a look at some sort of like you can sort of put them into like 6 or 7 different types of like procedures and policies and what you'd have and stuff. I don't know, like what they're asking for there. Are they asking for it all? Like, wow.
That's massive. Like
maybe you
KPIs
do.
is broken into 3 parts,
Yeah.
and then that's just like
Policies and
all of
procedures.
your philosophy and practices and approaches,
Yeah.
sort of like how you actually operate internally, like just in a Twitter
Douche.
paragraph. Fucking nuts.
Well, some of this box, this is why I put legal status and tricky. I wondered whether it's
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's maybe more of a kind of branch which has its own twigs, kind of like that's a more kind of top level thing that breaks down further into smaller things.
I feel like so, yeah.
I
Like
can
the whole trustees
yeah.
thing with being a CTO and all of that. I feel like it's that kind of detail.
So, like, I think I think it could be really good if we want to give the longest of all our answers in that box. If we feel like we've got stuff to say, I feel like not restricting us to 3 short sentences for that question is fine, maybe, because that is a big thing, isn't it? Like there's gonna be quite a lot of space in the business plan to explore that more than most of the other questions. So yeah, I think we can put our philosophies and like ways of working, because that's a huge part of what we value, like the ways we work being quite progressive.
I had a look, and there's like you've got general policies and procedures, and then you've got additional ones that could relate to a charity. With what you do as well, if you've got employees, you've got a whole section of policies and procedures and things. So it's and I think I got like to 8, and then I got little summaries of what they could be. Like this is just something I've lifted. Like I haven't actually delved into it because I was like, this is actually it is a big area.
Yeah, because I can imagine us answering all these questions, but like if you're going to run forward with this and follow through, then I can imagine you feeling like actually there's a big vacuum here still of like, because that's probably like actually some of the toughest stuff for you to do alone, maybe, or like.
Yeah, because it's something we all need to be aware of and all come up with ourselves, so we're all familiar with it and things. We are getting there with some bits, definitely. Yeah, like I think it's all there. It's just about collating it. See how we get on with that one.
Yeah.
And then fundraising strategy, which I found quite funny, because it's like, is that talking about our own, or are we going to talk about like the whole what our concept is?
There's only one question based on.
Well, I only picked, if you look at the top, it's fundraising strategy. It says general funds, restricted projects and funds, then trading.
Oh, okay, right. So this is a really good reference point, no? Like this is a good way to like sort of for those bigger questions at the bottom to kind of like give us stimulus for how deep to go into those questions and aspects to look at.
Yeah, I simplified. Well, not simplified. I just picked out the ones I thought would be answerable, and then the red boxes. Obviously, this is all like. I just pointed at the screen if you can see it. This is all of our, just details or whatever, and then this feels more like structural. I was going to ask a question about fundraising strategy, whether that's talking about our own equity, not equity, business model in terms of how we're like floating. Whether, I feel like it is. Is that, how do you see that, Joe?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more just our fundraising. Like, how are we gonna get money? Yeah, we talk about how we're going to be a cause and things. Maybe a bit more of actual policies around. I don't know. Like restricted funding. It's like crowdfunding for something that would be a restricted funds. What are our policies with restricted funds? Because obviously they are restricted. Can only be used in what they're for. Trading, I don't know what that is. Oh no, trading. Like how are we going to, so that would just be like a charity shop or something.
We're gonna have a dig
But
back from charity shop.
But we are trading, like, in a way. In a way, we are trading, but we're not, because we're not asking for income. We're asking for donations.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah. It's all linked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And then the only other one that I didn't put on there was income and expenditure, which
That's
feels like the
fine.
same because we are,
it's like
we're
halfway
running
there.
donations, so that
I can do
feels like it's under the same
absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're only 15 minutes behind, and we've got might as well schedule.
I want some food.
So we've got until 3:30 your time. Obviously everything is flexible. Anyone else have any other questions or things maybe they wanted to add to it, or we can do that as we go along. And did we want to set a check-in time, in an hour or so to just come back and, if we wanted to?
Yeah. So what actually happens at 3:30?
Well, yeah, we should probably reconvene maybe just before we have a lunch break. I don't know. I don't really know how you want to kind of go off and do the business plan. Personally, I'm gonna take my pink box here and move it away from this area, and probably try and do as much as I can without looking at our references that we've already created, and then maybe start looking at some of the stuff that we already have, and then maybe make an edit of it. You guys are welcome to do the same, or if you'd rather write it down and stuff. I think it's just important that we, at the end of the session, when we come together, that we're able to look at each other's boxes. So whether it's a photo of writing or post-it notes in here, that they do end up in these boxes, and these boxes are quite big. Like if you zoom in, you can make a. Oh, that's obviously appeared huge. They are
Big
big, so you can fit a lot in these boxes. So I think it's just important.
The landscape ones are better for lots of words as well.
Sorry?
The landscape ones, the wider ones, are better for lots of words as well.
Yes, very true.
Landscape one.
Where would you post it?
Just here.
Yeah, just click it again.
Here as well.
Ah, okay, because sometimes the landscape, sometimes the square, and I always wonder why they're different. It's because I've been doing that.
Yeah, you can fit in.
And what happens when Matt joins us? If he sort of instinctively comes to me, are you guys happy for me to sort of point him towards you, Pascal, or you, Joe?
Yes.
For like
Absolutely.
kind of a fast track introduction and framing.
Sending them to Mexico might be a bit dramatic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Although actually, Ellery told me 160 quid. So actually not that expensive.
Wow, flights from the UK for 160 quid to Mexico.
Yeah, it's because it's Cancun. It gets subsidised because they want loads of tourism here. It's very cheap.
Why aren't we all there?
Yeah.
You're telling me?
Get to the fucking Isle of Man for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? It's the same as getting.
Return to Burton over New Year was £200.65. You can fly to Mexico for cheaper.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, I'm very happy to take Matt on when he arrives and talk him through stuff. If you're able to patch him through, happy to take that on. So yeah, just I think the important thing is that the information in whatever form when we come back together is within these boxes, in whatever form it is.
So I've taken on that responsibility. If that's still wanted, I'm happy to take on that job of collecting everyone's answers at 3:30 and sticking them all together into this space where we can see each other.
Sure. I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm personally going to stick it straight in the boxes. If people want to pass it on to you, then that's fine.
Yeah. So I'll start off with whoever's finished straight away at 3:30, and if there's a couple of people that are a little bit behind, then I don't want to encourage that, but that's all right. If you want a little bit more time, it'll take you probably half an hour to do it.
Do we want any check-ins within the next 2 hours? So this isn't right anymore, is it? So we are starting at 50-ish.
Yeah, 'cause like kind of theoretically until 4:15, really, we could just do our own thing, really, couldn't we?
Yeah.
As long as as long as people have finished their answers well before 4:15, so I've got time to bring them all together into a shared space.
Well, we can telegram each other, can't we, if we want to query something or anything?
Yeah, it's true. So do we want a check-in time like between that and 4:15? So that's going to be
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah, maybe we don't need it.
Yeah, I'm
maybe
quite looking forward to
just-
being able to
yeah.
present something in a surprise way.
So that's going to be 11:15 for me. I'm just double checking that. 2 hours and 15 minutes. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Yeah.
And then will we just be like, yeah, because you used the word present there. Do you think it will be quite presenty, or will it just be more like just basically silently read each other's answers now they're all in the same place, sort of thing?
True.
I think, yeah, whatever you guys.
I'm always up for a song and dance.
Yeah.
I'm up for a song and dance. That's not a presenter.
Salsa.
I'll dance.
No, but I mean, do it in a more demonstrable way.
Yeah.
Expressive way. Well, what you're just thinking,
Yeah,
just
we can
going,
reach
I've written this, I've written this, I've written this.
Or go through one question and then be like, what have we got?
Oh, that's a better way.
And then everybody's got a little. It's like, oh, it's nice.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Let's focus on topic by topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I want to
true.
slow
And then
down a little bit. I want to just pause with this thought for a sec, because I think I'm just thinking it. For me, it seems really important to look at how all the answers interweave into each other, because I think some things we want to mention somewhere in the business plan could go here or they could go there. And so, yeah, just sort of seeing how they all sort of fit together. Because obviously it's sort of chopped into lots of pieces, but ultimately we are just describing dignity as a whole. So there could be some things repeated, some things left out of the final thing. So I guess, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, sure what the best way of coming back together is.
Come up with something.
Yeah. As long as
I'd
I've
be
said
happy
that.
either way.
Okay.
should we just come back together and line them up and then see what feels right? I do like the idea of going through each question. I wonder how long. Actually, we've got quite a while to do that, haven't we? Might take a bit of time, but I think that'd be a nice process to see where the overlaps are and not.
Yeah, see where we're up to at 4:15. We might be like earlier. Just keep each other informed until everyone.
Yeah, maybe we could. Maybe rather than sort of like forcing us to go through every question one by one, we like just this literally just thinking aloud, we could offer each one of us to choose a couple of questions or answers that we want to talk about. So here's something that confused me, or that was really interesting, or that threw me off in a way I'd like to explore together, rather than sort of potentially going through 3 questions that none of us particularly feel a need to like go through. We see which ones people actually want to most speak about.
But then how do we record like the answers? Because we need a final version. How do we then record that without going through every single question?
Just because at the end of that lunch break, before part 2, everyone will be able to see each other's version 1 answers. They'll all be in the same place then. Because right now we're going to be working in secret little bubbles away from each other, so we don't influence each other. But then I'm going to bring them all together onto real-time boards, so we can cheat sheet each other's and pick and be inspired by.
I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highlight particular questions to speak through. Does that make sense?
You went quiet then.
I said highlight particular questions each to speak through. So if there's, so we select some each.
I think that could be nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good idea. All right.
I want to fluff.
Questions?
Ooh. No, I'm good. Let's go.
I'm excited. I'm only excited now.
Yeah. And shall we stop this recording and then record
No,
it
let's
again?
sit and watch you 3 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, shall I stop it and then I'll remember to create another video recording and on YouTube create a little button that links you to part 2. So you can click it.
It would be, we must, when you teach me how to do the recording on airs, I think we should make a YouTube channel for Dignity Platform. Like,
Thanks for watching, everybody. Just click here for part 2. You can click now. We done?
Peace out.
Catch you in a bit, Pasco. Thank you. Love you all. You're really good. You're really clever.
Love you too.
Bye now.
I just realised.
What's that?
What?
Who's that from me?
No, I was just saying I've tried to hang up and then I've got it on my phone as well, haven't I? I forgot I split. Oh, the sun's
Yeah.
coming out.
I'm gonna.
Bye.
The sun's
Bye.
out here.
We're still
Blue.
recording.
It's all